Hey y'all, Josh here today, aka the world's greatest dad, and what we have here is the ErGear Dual Monitor Stand. And today we're going to unbox this bad boy, show you how to set it up and install it, give it a full field test, and see if it might be something you need to pick up as well. So with that being said, let's get it. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. When you pick this thing up, it's going to come to you in a box just like this. Let's get her opened up, see what we're working with. Now everything was packaged up very nicely, and here's all the contents. Of course, we've got our arm right here with all the pieces, some clips, instruction manual, and all the nuts and screws and tools that we're going to need for the install. I spent a few minutes going through the instruction book. Everything seems well laid out with several pictures as well as descriptions, and this should be a fairly easy install to get put together. Now there are quite a few screws and parts that do come with this, and one thing that's kind of nice on this instruction book is they tell you exactly what pieces you're going to need for each step. Other tools that you're going to need is just a Phillips head screwdriver, and here's everything we're going to need for step one of the installation. We've got our pole right here, C-clamp brace, C-clamp, both our Allen keys, and then we've got 2 of these A bolts and 3 of the B bolts. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to attach our pole to our C-clamp brace right here by simply lining all these holes up. Go ahead and use our B screw right here and our small Allen. Now for the second part of step one, we're going to go ahead and attach our C-clamp here to our C-clamp brace. And basically here you got 2 different places you can do it. You can either attach it using these bottom holes if you have a thicker desk, or you can use these top ones if you have a thinner desk. The desk that we're going to be putting this on is a little bit thinner, so I'm going to go ahead and slide this up, align those top holes right there, and then we'll go ahead and use our 2 A bolts. And we'll go ahead and tighten them with our larger Allen. And step 1 is completed. Now for step 2, we're going to need our swivel extension arm, our 4 cable clips, our 1 larger cable clip, and our large Allen key. And we're going to be putting the swivel arm on our pole we just put together. So first you're going to go ahead and take this larger cable clip and put that down your pole. Then we're going to take our arms here, and it's very important that you have this side facing up with that little piece on there. You don't want to put this upside down. And we're simply going to slide this up over the top. Now, this can be loosened or tightened using your Allen wrench right here. So we'll go ahead and loosen it up a little bit, make it easier to get over. And I don't know my exact height setting right now until I get this into my wife's office. And so I'm just going to kind of get it right around here, and we can always adjust it a little bit later. Now we'll go ahead and just take our 4 clips there, and we'll put one of those on each side or each arm. And step 2 is complete. Now for step 3, we're going to be installing our face plates to our monitors. We got a couple different options here. If we're installing these to flat monitors, we're going to use these smaller bolts right here along with the smaller washers. If we're doing it to a curved monitor, we're going to use these larger bolts along with these larger washers. Now I'm going to be doing this on 2 flat monitors, so I'm going to be using all these pieces right here, and I'll just need a screwdriver for the install. So when you're installing this, make sure that the up is pointed to the top of the monitor. And these are set up for either a 75 by 75 VESA or a 100 by 100. As you can see here, this monitor is 100 by 100. So these outside holes are the ones that match up. Now we'll just take our little bolt with our washer, get this thing screwed on tight. And for step 4, we're going to be attaching our monitors to the monitor stand. And all we're going to need is these 2 nuts, as well as some of these smaller bolts and our screwdriver. All right, so we got our ErGear monitor stand set up here in my wife's office, and we're going to be fully testing the limits of this thing today. Max weight, it says on each arm, is supposed to be 17.6 pounds. As you see, we have two 32-inch Dell monitors, and these things are fairly heavy. We're going to go ahead and get them on the scale, see what they weigh, and then we'll get this up here and see how it does with them. All right, we'll go ahead and put the monitor on the scale. And it's coming in at 14.4 pounds. All right, now we're going to go ahead and slide our monitor right over the top of this. As you can see, this thing just sits right in there on the bracket. All right, now let's go ahead and put on our next one. Now to lock these into place, we're going to go ahead and take this plastic nut, put it right there. And we'll take this small screw with our Phillips head. And we'll go ahead and screw that down. Now this monitor is locked into place, so even if we turn it, it's not going to come off the top. Now we'll go ahead and get our monitor plugged in, and then we can use our cable clips on here so we can run our lines right along the frame of this. That way they're just not hanging down and it'll look a lot better. And here's how our ErGear Dual Monitor Stand looks after a completed install. Again, we are pretty much maxing out the specs on this thing, going with not one, but two 32-inch monitors that each weigh just under 15 pounds. Not having any problems holding that up. Still plenty of room here to maneuver both of the computers. Pretty easy build to put together and pretty sharp looking monitor stand. Now when we attached our C-clamp here, you will see that our desk thickness is just about an inch. But this will fit a variety of desk sizes, going all the way down to just about a ½ inch, all the way up to a little over 3 inches. So it really should fit any desk out there. Now there are plenty of hinge points here on the arm span to maneuver this, and it's going to be just shy of 31 inches long. And our pole is going to run just over 16 inches tall. Now this dual monitor stand will fit a wide variety of sizes of monitors. As you can see, we maxed this thing out with the dual 32s, but it'll fit anything or any combination from 13 inches all the way up to the 32. Now obviously if you have a little bit smaller monitors on here, let's say some 27s or 24s, you get a little bit more room on how you can maneuver these things, but we still have plenty of maneuvering space with these 32s to adjust them how we would like them. Now this monitor stand does give you a ton of flexible screen positioning as well, giving you a 90-degree swivel, 45-degree tilt right here, as well as the ability to tilt this thing either using your monitors horizontal or vertically. Now obviously we're pretty close to our desk and these are large 32s, so I'm not going to turn this thing all the way vertical, but if I had a smaller monitor, that's something I could do as well. So there you go, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the ErGear Dual Monitor Stand. So to close this video out, here's my 3 takeaways. Number 1, the instructions were clear, it included all the parts, and the assembly of this was fairly simple and easy to follow. It only took me about 15 minutes, and I feel that anybody could do this build. Number 2, this thing works as advertised. Today we basically maxed this thing out, putting on 2 dual 32-inch monitors that each weighed right about 15 pounds, which is just 2 pounds shy of what they say max capacity weight is. Obviously this thing is performing fairly well, so it should be able to handle any monitors that you can throw at it. And number 3, I just appreciate all the different flexibility and options that you have when using this. I could use these monitors any way I want, tilt them however I want, adjust my height higher or lower, and they just give you a lot of different contact points to kind of change this around so it fits exactly how you want it. And it's for those reasons and more, I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a world's greatest dad thumbs up, and I say, go out and get you one.